All right, let's take a look at Prelude in C. You're dealing with the arpeggios, so make sure you're doing a free stroke arpeggio. As you're playing each arpeggio, your eye fingers for this exercise, it's going to always play the second string. So just make sure that this finger is playing the second string. Okay? And then as you play the next note, it's going to be in triplets. Right? This M finger is going to always play the first string. Okay, so make sure that this one, I finger, is playing the second string, and your M finger is playing the first string. Okay? And then if you look at the notes that are pointing down, that's going to be the bass, the thumb. So the thumb is always playing on every beat. Okay, you look at the first measure, you got a C, G, C, G. So as you're learning it, it's probably better to learn the thumb first. See what my thumb's doing there? After I play the first note, it goes directly to the second note. Then it comes back and plays the third note, and then the next note. And then to the next measure, it's going to play. Okay? Learn the thumb first, then go back, and then insert the other two notes. Right? So look at that first measure. You have this. Okay, once you learn those, put them together. Then go to the next measure. Okay, I'll go ahead and give you a chord chart. And if you learn the chord positions on the left hand, that'll help. For example, first measure would be a C chord. If you learn that shape, that'll help you get each measure going in as you go across. And it'll just help you to get the arpeggios faster. So that first measure is a C chord. Next measure is like G7, but instead of playing the low G or the low B, you're going to play a D, G, D, G, and these are the middle parts of the chord. So you still have to read the notes, but these chord shape positions will definitely help you get through the piece. So as you've seen the video at the beginning, as I was playing through, you could see the chord fingerings that I put in, and that'll help you. So the thumb is moving around, playing different bass notes, but these other two fingers, I and M, are always playing the second and first string. Okay, so let's see here. I'll play again slowly for the first three measures and look at the left hand as far as what my fingers are playing. So here's the first measure. Right? Going to the second measure. I'm going to a G7 chord. Going to the next measure. I'm playing an A minor 7. But the A minor 7, but the E is going to be in the bass, not the low E, but the higher E that's in the fourth string. Then I'm going to a G, then back to the E, then again the G. That's the first three measures. Then measure 4, I'm going back to your G7. Going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, which are the same notes that are in measure 2. Then measure 5 is the same as measure 1. Okay. Look at measure 6 is the same shape as measure 3. You're just going to move the chord, move the fingers up a string. That's the shape you have for measure 3. It's A minor 7 with an E in the bass. Measure 6 is an E7 with the B in the bass. So again, it's the same shape. You're just going to pick up the fingers and move them up like that. Okay, and that sounds like this. As I'm playing the bass note, the thumb always comes back to stop the bass note, previous bass note from ringing. Watch. You want to do that so it doesn't sound so muddy. Or you could lift up the finger here to stop the note from ringing. Okay. Going on to measure 7. You have an A minor chord. Measure 8, an A7 chord, so you have a C sharp on the 2nd string. And an open G. Okay, going on. You have a D minor chord with an A in the bass. Sorry. So that you have an A going to an F, A, F. Sounds like this. Then going on to the next measure, you have a G7. Right, so the same G7 shape that you're playing in measure 2 and in measure 4, except this time, except now you're playing the low G on the 6th string. All right, going on, you go to C major chord, which is the same C major you start off with. Okay. Then going on, you have a D minor chord with an F in the bass. It's alternating between an F and an A. Okay. Yep, do that again and see. Going to the next measure, you have a C chord, but there's a G in the bass. So be sure you play that C chord with the G in the bass. So you're going to play this. To the on G7. Now that G7 is the same as G7 that you have in measure 10. That low G on the 6th string. Okay. Then going on, you have back to the C chord, and then last measure you have a C chord. Okay.